move to the new platform.
Perfect. Yeah, I've just hit record just to make sure.
Thank you.
So, so just a reminder, we are recording now, which, you know, for any of your team that can't make it today or for future reference, we will be uploading onto our network site as a reference resource as well. So just kind of briefly to touch on, if you're not aware or haven't seen, Workplace by Meta, Facebook is closing. They're closing down the whole platform, not just our instance. So it put us in a position that we needed to find an alternative. We were also very keen to make sure that there was kind of no big gap between kind of, you know, we didn't want to lose communication and that contact point. So yeah, we went through procurement stages. We sought consultation and advice on it. And Workvivo come out top of many kind of different elements, but mainly also because it was or is the only preferred provider from Workplace, and it's the only one where we can migrate all our data across. So we have managed to migrate everything from day dot of using Workplace. Originally, it was just going to be 12 months. Then we were pushing for 2 years. But because we had enough lead time and enough kind of, you know, work to go through it all, we managed to do everything. So everything that was posted from the very first day, it has all migrated over. There is a few exceptions. So elements such as your private chats have not been transferred. We felt they were too private. You know, we didn't want those kind of being migrated across. And likewise, your search history, just like on a browser, you know, you change browser, it's no longer there. It does mean that because it is a different platform and stuff has been migrated, stuff may not look perfect. Things might not look exactly the way they did, but the knowledge is there, the share, the comments, the reactions are all there. But yeah, you know, also we started this before the announcement, so you know, before the intention of closing Healthwatch. So we've continued through on the process, and the main purpose is that, you know, it's still going to require new legislation to come into effect. That's going to take time. Whilst, you know, we fully appreciate this period is kind of uncertain and the exact timelines aren't known, but we've still got a good amount of time to, you know, continue planned work. So we wanted to launch Workvivo and continue to give you a platform to collaborate, communicate, receive updates, share your thoughts and feelings as well, engage in discussions, and effectively to continue to do what we need to do in that time. So that's a bit of that. Over to you, Hannah. There we go. That was my cue, not that.
Brilliant, Andre. Thank you. So yes, myself and Andre will walk you through Workvivo. So when you get your account activation email, some of you may have got it already. You'll know what to do and where everything is. So hopefully by the end of this morning's session, you'll know how to access Workvivo and set up your profile, where to find supporting resources, the basics of how to create and share posts, as well as find and join groups and search and connect with your colleagues. So just quickly, this is the account activation email that you will get. Thank you, Andre, for providing the screenshot. And once you get that, you just click on set up password, and then that'll take you through to the Workvivo platform. So if you bear with me, I'm just going to change my screen over here. I'll actually turn my camera off because nobody needs to be staring at my chin. So 2 seconds. Here we go. So once you go to your work, once you get that Workvivo email, you'll then sorry, I need to pull up my the passwords. Sorry, 2 seconds. Yeah, so once you get the email to activate your Workvivo account, like I said, click on the setup password, and it'll bring you through to this screen here. So you'll enter your email address and you'll create password. And then I'm going to log in. So welcome to Workvivo. So this is what you'll see when you are in the account. So this is really handy because it actually gives you a bit of a walkthrough itself. So, you can refer back to this session, this recording, if you need to, when you're setting up your account. But when you first get in, this will give you a bit of a guide as to where everything is. So I'm just going to talk you through it. So this is your profile photo. This is the lovely Coda. Again, thank you, Andre, for providing the photo. I'll show you how to change all of these things because obviously when you get your account, there won't be profile photos and banner images and things like that. So you can set up your notification preferences, and Andre will pick up on the mobile app later on. So just whatever your mobile push only, email only. For the sake of this session, we'll just go mobile push and email. Here are some of the ground rules we've set, so you can read through those at your leisure. I'm just going to click agree and next. And then this is your sign in, and obviously, like I said, Andre will pick up on this in more detail, but it's a wee QR code you can scan and set up your mobile app. So let's have a look at your profile. So once you get into Workvivo, you'll want to start customizing it. So you'll click on, this will probably be a grayed out avatar in the top right hand corner, and go to edit profile. You can change your avatar, select images as you would any other social media platform. You can add profile banner. I downloaded some beautiful beach scenes earlier. You can put in your display name, your mobile direct dial, any other information you think will be needed for colleagues to sort of find you and interact with you. And then that's really that. You can update your about me information as well. So want to navigate out of that to home. So this is your home feed. And we mentioned resources and links. So these are your key links. And these are all just links, as you can see, to the network site, to the Canva templates. We have brand stencil, why we have it for the time being, and all of our social media platforms as well. I've just seen a hand pop up there. Was it Julia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello there. I'm from County Durham. Thank you. I got my password and everything this morning. So
Mhm.
before the session, I clicked on to have a little look. My profile obviously was already there, but my job title had changed, and I couldn't see anywhere that I could amend that.
That's fine. What we'll do, we'll go through amendments and that shortly. So if I could just ask because we are recording this as a resource, if we could ask all questions at the end, because we may well cover it during the slides and during the presentation.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. But we will cover it. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you.
Brilliant. Good question, Julia. Thank you. So yes, like I said, there's your key links that help you navigate all of the resources that we provide to yourselves in the network. Anyway, so I'll just quickly, I don't want to teach you to suck eggs. Obviously, I'll just show you quickly how to do a couple of posts similar to what we are used to with Workplace. The posts, you've got your large heading and your small heading. You can add links, you can include images and attachments, videos, reports, different things. You can use GIFs. What else you can do is give shout outs to colleagues and team members. So people is basically everyone on the platform, I think, and teams, you've different teams there that you can shout out, which is good if you're maybe working in collaboration with a different Healthwatch, or you want to give a shout out to your colleague who has as you'll see in a minute, demonstrated a certain value or has been a really good support on a project, birthday messages, that kind of thing. So you'll see up here that this goes to everyone, and what we find is if you post this to everyone, it will appear on every user's homepage feed, which is what I'm on at the moment, for a short time being, and then once they refresh the page and they navigate away from their homepage, it'll disappear. So if it's an important update that you want to share with a particular group of people, Andre will take you through that one. We look at spaces and teams and things. This this is just putting a post together. But like I said, if it's anything important, you maybe want to put that in your particular group or send it directly to a particular team member. Shout outs, as I said, I'm going to pick on Andre and Chris this morning. So you've got Andre and I forgot we've many Chris's. There we go. And you'll see their shout out at the bottom. This wee plus button, you can add all of the usual attachments. But the good thing with Workvivo, which I don't think we had on Workplace, is that you can add value, and these are the Healthwatch organizational values that would have been in your annual reports and things like that. And again, Andre will go into more detail on this, but you can give a shout out to your colleagues. They'll see it because they're mentioned in it, and you can attribute them a particular value that they've demonstrated and just hit post. So you'll see that will come up. You'll also see any sort of updates. Like Andre said, a lot of stuff has been migrated across. So that'll all be in your feed as well. So I'll just hand over to Andre. Hopefully the technology works. And he'll take you through some of the other nitty-gritties of Workvivo.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hannah. So I should have kicked you off and now sharing my screen, although it will look very similar. Although I'm in an private one because I've got about 72 instances of Workvivo open with different pages. So the safest way. So again, I'm just back on the profile.
Sorry, Andre, I don't think your screen's sharing, or is it just me that can't see it?
I'm still seeing Coda as well, if that's what you've got.
Should. If I let me go to Spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, working for me. Yep. Cheers.
Perfect. It's a problem when you're sharing something that looks exactly the same because we're both logged into the same account. So I'm just going to kind of talk through the people, the teams, what the new groups are, and a few other elements. So to begin with, I'm going to touch on teams because following on from Hannah talking about shout outs and how you can tag people, but also teams. So now the teams element. So most people will have 3 different teams allocated. So the first one will be the Healthwatch. So that's the Healthwatch you are attached to, work for. So what this does will also enable an organizational chart that I'll show you in a second. For those that have got multiple people, it should show some reporting lines. So I'll kind of just talk that through. And then it just means that, in terms of those shout outs, if you want to say, thank you very much to Healthwatch Nottingham and Nottinghamshire for collaborating with us on this piece of work, you can. And that will mean that every single member of that team on the platform will get that notification. So rather than just individuals, you can tag an entire team. What it also means is you can click on the team and be able to see everybody on the platform who belongs to that Healthwatch. Then we have the department. So the department is a little bit of a work in progress in terms of it's all there. But this is where some of you may want to amend and contact us. So this will be your main area of work. So this may be a lot of this was going through and looking at your job titles if we didn't know. So again, you may feel that your job, the team there, your department doesn't fit. Please let us know and we'll change it over. It's a very quick and easy job for us to do. But in terms of that, we have got research and engagement, working with volunteers, volunteer leads, lead officers, chairs and board members. So they're all kind of, the elements we naturally fall into. Part of that was due to feedback from workplace that, everybody's got different job titles, even though many of you do similar roles or have similar focus. So that also helps you, hopefully, to connect to some peers and colleagues that are working on similar things. Also, the other good thing with this is that as new people join, or as you would join Workvivo, is you'll already be automatically enrolled in certain groups or spaces. So groups are now called spaces on Workvivo. Again, that are relevant to you. You can join as many as you like, and you can leave ones that you don't feel are relevant. And then finally, you've got your region, which is what Healthwatch region you're in. This again to help identify colleagues in your own area, but also to assist in gathering what area, if your geography is as bad as mine, sometimes it's helpful. But also what it will allow is better management of regional specific spaces as well. So if you have a space for, Greater Manchester or for London, it makes it a lot easier to make sure everybody's included in those correctly. So I'll come back to people in a second. I'm going to go to spaces because that's the main element where we normally post things, share things and update. So we have reduced the number of spaces. So as I say, this is the new name for groups. So any of, such as general, like general and workplace, everything has migrated across. So everything there that was there is still there. The comments, the posts, everything. Where there are spaces that we have archived, they are still here. And I will just briefly show you there is an archive section. And within this, there is something called subspaces. And all of the subspaces here are all of the archive subspaces. So they're elements that we felt were being spread too wide. And part of the feedback was lots of the groups didn't feel like there was engagement because we had so many of them. To give you an idea, we had 122 in total on Workplace. Now, if I go back to show you how many we have as main spaces on Workvivo, there is 10. And one of those is the archive, and some of these are subspaces. So we very much kind of listened to the feedback. Engagement wasn't good enough. We had too many groups, so we've minimized it. It's not to say in the future, if we feel like that there is a need for a specific group or project, we will of course create that. So I'll just kind of briefly touch on, we've got the online community tips and tricks. Within this, which is part of, I think, covering Abby's point in the chat, we've got a bit of a welcome to, but across here, if you don't want to watch this video back or forgotten how to do something, there's a load of how-tos. So if I go to, for example, how to join a space. At the top here, we'll give you a written description of how to do it on mobile and desktop. But then below, there's also their animated GIFs, videos, effectively, of walkthroughs. So the top one will always be the desktop, and the bottom one's how to do it on mobile. So again, there's kind of how-tos for all these elements we're going through as well. So anybody that's not here or your other team members, they might not want to watch back this entire webinar. This is a nice quick go-to. So we have the general. So this is the place for anything else, important announcements, and of course the all-important policy roundup and policy updates. So the only variance here is, so we have got a subspace for job boards. So if anybody's got any positions they're trying to fill, they can share them there now. With the policy roundups, we are using the news feature here. So as you can see, there's 3 policy roundups here already. So all the historical ones won't be there. We've just transferred the last 3 as an example and to show you. But the policy roundups every Friday now will be in the news. Part of the reason for this is otherwise they get lost in the feed. They're really difficult to relocate, or you have to use the search function. This way, if you're looking for something from a particular week, particular item, it's much easier to find, hopefully. But it also means they're all in one place for you. But as always, general is anything else. Anything you're not sure where it fits, post it in general. We've got the people group. So this is about learning and development, people management, HR, recruitment, anything that's to do with people. So within the people, we have the Working with Volunteers group and the Young People in Healthwatch group as well. Very, very important. Didn't want to lose those, but they're very people focused. So that's why they sit there. Got the research and engagement, hopefully quite self-explanatory, along with the communications. And again, we've just kind of disjointed some of these because they didn't fit very well based on feedback from yourselves as well, such as comms and campaigns felt like they were two different elements. Specific HR isn't really something that was being utilized because it's not something that we advise on. We've got a subgroup for enter and view. So you can see this is part of research and engagement. So all of these you can see because it's got a main header, they are the main space, and then these are the subspaces. We've got a digital, so anything to do with have your say, digital projects, the data sharing platform can all be found there. And Matt is also going to provide kind of updates on resources and reminders about what support there is. We have chair and board members. Hopefully, again, should be self-explanatory. It's just for chair and board members. As I say, we've covered the archive. Now, there are a few more groups in the background that you can't see. So these might be regional groups that you'll be invited to or a part of. So they're not publicly available. There is also, for many of you that are lead officers on this call, there is a lead officers group space. It's just private and it's by invite only. That's just to make sure that, one, we have the right people in there, and two, to make sure that it's maintained in a better way than it was previously. Nothing against it, still there. It's still, we want everyone in there, but essentially anybody that gets that department team of lead officer will automatically be in the lead officer's chat now. So even if there's a change or somebody isn't currently on Workvivo and you've requested an account, you tell us you're a lead officer, you'll automatically go into that group, that space anyway. So that is spaces. I'm going to go back to people now. So we go to connect, go to people. There is currently 694 accounts in total. Here you can search for somebody if you're looking for someone particular. You can also use your own teams. So if I'm looking for somebody else from Yorkshire and Humber, I can click that to filter, or just from Leeds. Coda, my dog, belongs to Leeds currently. I'm not sure why Leeds, it's a long way away from Sussex, but he's decided he wants to work for Healthwatch Leeds. So there is the filter on the right as well. I would say if you're looking for particular teams, it's better to go to the teams element and search from there. But in terms of people, you can see, you know, who people are, you can see what department they are and what Healthwatch they're a part of and their title. So you can see quite a lot of detail about someone here, and all of them are clickable. So I'm going to pick on Craig. I like picking on Craig. Volunteer manager, you can see as a volunteer lead. He's from Healthwatch Leeds, and you can chat with him there. His email address if you want to contact him. Where we've got managers on there as well, that will show, and then what teams they're a part of, etc. So you'll be able then, you know, you can see Craig's posts, his profile, and see what he's been posting about as well. Then going through the teams, as I say, if you want to filter and you're looking for some particular Healthwatch, you can click this little filter bucket, hit Healthwatch, and here you can find any Healthwatch you want. So from here, I'm going to select Leeds again, and you can see all the team members that belong to Leeds. Obviously, this will only show people that are on the platform, not their entire staff. But you can see I'm here as Coda. In terms of that as well, if you want to find out kind of how that team looks, I'm going to go to Coda, go to view in organizational chart. Now you can do this on anyone's profile. So if I went to, let's choose Gavin, my manager, and go to view in organizational chart. So here I can see we've got Louise as our chief exec, who reports to Louise. So Gavin there, and then the team below. So here's me, here's Chris. So again, we've got an org chart as well. Again, if there's any issues with these, please let me know. They're not direct reporting lines for everyone. What I will say is for local Healthwatch, we have done your top hierarchy. So if I show you, I'm going to go to Leeds. So I'll go back to my profile, view in organizational leads, and you can click on people and it will show you their direct reports. So here, for example, we've got a co-chair, a deputy chair, and then we've got the chief exec level, and then the staff. So all the other staff, regardless of reporting lines, will sit there. So we've basically got, you know, your chair or trustees, board members, chief exec, lead officer, and other staff. As I say, if there's any amendments, just let us know. They're very quick and easy to amend as well. So teams, you can search by department if you're looking for somebody else. You know that they work for Healthwatch England and they are part of the comms team, but can't remember who they are. You can look here. Don't have to go to our website. You can search it here very easily. See, oh, it's Hannah. Yep, that's her. She was the one on this webinar. Yep, excellent. She's content comms officer, and I can deal with her. I can reach out to her or email her them from there. Likewise, if you're looking for, you know, volunteer leads, who else might be in my space that I can reach out to? Again, you've got all the contacts there as well. So hopefully it's easier to get in contact with people that are doing similar roles to yourself. So I will then go through to values. So if we go to explore and then values, our shared values that we come up with as a network, as an organization, group of organizations together, are all here. So independence, equity, truth, collaboration, and impact. We've also got kind of the bit of the statement of how we embody those. Short video from Louise on our values. But the good thing is as Hannah showed you about doing shout outs or doing posts, you can link to any one of these 5 shared values. So if I click on collaboration, I can see, for example, there's the post that Coda posted earlier. And, you know, it's a shout out to Andre and Chris from Coda on collaboration. So again, it's just a nice way of building in our shared values. So you can do that on any post on any group as well, and they'll all come through onto the values. Obviously, if you don't have permissions because they're in a private group, you might not be able to see them. But again, it's a nice way of being able to embody our shared values a little bit better. So in terms of other bits, just to kind of clarify, so the spaces is the groups, events we're not utilizing. Badges, I'll just briefly touch on. There's some badges for different things about embodying our shared values. Also to be, you know, volunteer powered. If you've also done the quality framework, we can give you the committed to quality, and the badges will show up on your profile as well. So in terms of that, badges, news. So on the news, you'll have any of the main news feeds and then all the policy roundups. So you can find them here as well if you want. The pages we're not utilizing, so you can kind of, there's some of the groups that have got pages such as the how-to, but that's it. That's how we're using them. And I've covered the people, the teams, and the org charts. The resources, Hannah's covered. So the apps is all of the links to all the other resources. And if you think there's one missing, please let us know, because we're more than happy to add anything on. There is a gallery as well. Obviously, we use Flickr mainly, but if we want to continue adding anything like that or have some shared spaces for galleries, we can. So we also have a chat. So chat function here. I have talked to myself, oddly, or my dog to me. But there is a full chat function as well, and you can create group chats as well. You can share things with people on the platform. And group chats can be whole teams, whole areas, just between one-to-one, whatever you want. So in terms of that, I just want to cover in terms of if you don't have a Workvivo account or you haven't received an email. So we do have a new page that went live today on our network site, and we'll pop the link in the chat for that, just so you've all got it. And that didn't work. There we go. So this we'll host the video from this session here. This has also got a link to the tips and tricks space that I showed you earlier. So that will take you directly to all the how-to guides. And then there's also a new web form. So if you need a new account or any account amendments, you can utilize this web form here. So it's very similar, you know, name, email address, job title. The difference this time is that it asks you for your teams effectively. So what's your main area of work? And I appreciate these are a bit of a catch-all. So again, if you feel like something missing, let us know, or we'll explain where we think it sits. and then which Healthwatch you are based at. So there's a full list of every Healthwatch. Now, we do appreciate that some of you don't necessarily work for one Healthwatch and are part of multiples, host organizations, multiple contracts, etc. Because the focus is on Healthwatch, we can't have the kind of variation. So please just choose the Healthwatch that's closest to you or the one you work most with. It's a little bit of a kind of workaround in terms of it, but that's our options. They have to be Healthwatch focused. But if there's any issues, let us know. And then any other details you can pop there. So again, if they are amendments, you can pop them in that form, that box, and let us know. In terms of if there is anything, so what I would say in terms of if you haven't, let me come off of that and stop sharing for a second. In terms of if you haven't received your email to set up your password yet, please wait. They are coming out throughout the day. But what I would say is if you did have an account on Workplace and by tomorrow morning you have not received a setup password email, please get in contact with us and we'll have a look into it. So we'll either set you up a new account or see what's gone wrong in the background. For example, this morning there was a few issues with Devon, Plymouth and Torbay. Lots of you had 2 accounts suddenly. So I think something, as they started sending out, there was some duplication. But again, any issues, just let me know. In terms of if you have issues today or any queries, any questions, please reach out to me. If you've got access to Workvivo, please use the chat function and reach out to me today. Any queries, there's no such thing as a silly question, and I'll be able to help. Likewise, if you can't access the platform, we'll share the email address as well that you can email if it's not a new account and you don't know what's gone on. So we'll share that. It's our network comms email address, but we'll share it on a slide shortly. So, and just briefly before I hand back, I am now just going to very quickly share screen, start. So what I just briefly want to show you all as well is the mobile app. So the mobile app is very similar. Obviously the layout's slightly different, but we do feel it's a very good way to interact with the app, with the platform. So it's very kind of similar. Across the top here, you've got all of your spaces, all your groups, and you can just click on those and it will go straight through to them. And then you can, if you want the how to give a shout out, and all the GIFs, all the animations will all work there to have a look. So I'll just go home.
We can't see your screen.
Sorry?
We can't see the screen.
Sorry, I'm seeing it okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it
So
might be an issue at your end, sorry, Noah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it
I
okay
can see
as
it as well.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I did know, we did get a notification that some
I
people
cannot see it anymore.
Okay, well, apologies if you can't see it. It will be in the recording, and if you use the mobile app, you'll be able to see. We did get a notification that some people are on older versions or Teams or external, so that's why you might not be able to see, because I'm sharing from a mobile phone rather than a desktop. But I'll just quickly, I'm only going to spend a minute or two on this. So again, you can see all the feeds, all the news, anything that's been shared as normal. So that's on the home button. We then have the spotlight, which will then show you all the news feeds. So the policy roundups, all the spaces here as well, all the imagery from them. You've then got the search, which searches everything. It searches people, spaces, values, everything there. And then you've also got your chat. So again, nice and simple way of chatting, engaging with others and doing anything. Your notifications, again, little icon in the top right. So here you can see anything there as well. But that's it. That's all I wanted to show, just as the mobile app for this is a lot better than it was for Workplace. It's a lot more kind of content feature rich, and it, if I'm honest, it actually works. So right, let me stop sharing that one. There we go. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Andre, for going through that. And yes, the this will all be in the recording anyway. So if you weren't able to see Andre's screenshots, you can access that video when it's back up on the network site. So that's really the end of today's session. We'll hand over for questions now. As Andre sort of covered, we have an online tips and tricks space. There's that network page, which is handily named the Workvivo Guide to Getting Started, where this recording will be available. You have those links for setting up new users. The best contact for any questions and queries about your account is obviously the network comms team. And there's a link here to join the online community feedback space. So we will be gathering feedback on your experiences of using Workvivo and sort of using that down the line to improve the platform as we go along and continue to use it. And as Andre said, the mobile app is available on your Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. If you scan that QR code. And I'll circulate these slides as we would do with any other training session once we're done. But if anyone has any questions, drop them in the chat, raise your hand, take yourself off mute. Julia's question about changing job title, did we go through that? We can
job titles will require amendments. So if you want to change it today, just drop me a message on the platform and I can amend that. As I say, today is my very much supports everything Workvivo day. So anything that needs doing, I want to try and get done and dusted today. So you can reach out to me on Workvivo, or you can email the network comms, or you can fill in the web form. The web form's probably a bit overkill because you've got access to your account.
Yeah. Sorry, I just.
I was going to say, Chris, is there any other questions in the chat? I haven't been keeping up with the chat.
Yeah. So Craig's asked basically how he adds team members for Healthwatch leads, and if there are any limits on the number of accounts an individual Healthwatch can have.
Yeah, so I'll cover that. So we do have a limited number of licenses because it is pay per license. Currently, we don't have a limit of number of accounts per individual Healthwatch. If we do feel that we go over that number, and to be clear, we are very close to that number, but again, we're not expecting 100% of activation, so we have got a bit of breathing space. So for now, please request them. What we will be doing, though, is we will be being probably quite harsh in deactivating accounts that are immobile and unused for that purpose, that it is a per license fee. But again, that's not to say that you can't request, reactivation of your account at a later date. But yeah, for now, please request and get as many of your team on there as possible. That'd be great. Can't collaborate if you're not on there.
Cool. Alison also asked, I think this was when we were looking at the app, in the My Team panel on the feed, who should be in there?
So in terms of on the My Team feed I'm going to go to it now just so I can, because it's a good question. So in terms of by rights, your team should show anything where you are. So My Team should show you 3 different elements or up to 3 different elements. Your Healthwatch that you belong to, the department, so research and engagement, comms, and then should also show the region you belong to as well. And again, if that's not showing, I did have a flick through, but there's 700 nearly 700 people. I did have a flick through this morning to try and make sure that everyone was allocated to teams as well. But if not, please let us know.
Bill, thank you. I can see a hand, but we'll just box off the questions in the chat first. Kate's asked basically how you remove people who are no longer working for your Healthwatch. I think that's a simple case of emailing that network comms email address, isn't it, Andre?
Yeah, please. Yeah, if there's any people that you notice, especially now people are attached to teams, it's much easier to see. So if people have left your organization, please let us know. If you know that they've moved on in the network, we can migrate, just change their email address and get them to set up a new password. So they won't be attached to, if they move from, I don't know, Sussex to Surrey, for example, we can just move their account.
That's brilliant, thank you. Diane's mentioned about Healthwatch Birmingham and Solihull being on a central contract now. Again, yeah, if you just ping an email to that network comms email address and let us know, I think we can rectify that easily enough.
Yeah, that's fine. That'll take probably a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. We can do that.
Real. Deborah's asked, can you demonstrate how to see the key links quick access banner on the home page, as she can't see it on her version?
Quick links. Okay, that's strange. You should be able to. So I will just quickly share my screen again. Window, that one. So by rights, from your home screen, so just click in the logo or go into activity feed, the key link should show here underneath your profile picture and banner, and then the key links will take you here. If it doesn't show, please screenshot it and send it to me, because it should work for everyone. It's not something that's limited to certain people. But if it doesn't show, you can go to resources and then apps, and that will take you to exactly the same place. We've just added it there as a bit of a quick way. Likewise, there's a few links down here as well, further for the network site, the core skills framework and training and events. So just quick links and quicker ways of getting to other things and other resources.
Well, thank you. Claire's asked, if your role covers two areas, departments in brackets, can you be added to an extra team?
Yes, yeah, we can do that.
Yep. Again, if you just ping us an email with the details, I'm sure we can sort that out. And Claire's also asked if there's a facility to schedule a post for a later time or date like you did in Workplace. I'm sure there isn't there.
Perfect question. And yes, so in terms of that, I will. There most certainly is. So when you type in your post, there's 3 little dots next to the post button, and from there you should be able to click schedule post. I don't think from memory it's not as precise as Workplace. You can't put in 5:01. It does it in 15-minute intervals. But yes, there is scheduled posts.
Real. I think that's it from the chat for now. So Alison, thanks for your patience. Do you want to fire away?
Yeah, it was just going back to my question that was in the chat. So I didn't mean the actual Teams page, but on the feed page, if you go to there, under that key links, there is a panel which at the top of it says My Team, and then there's a number of people listed there. And I just wondered what that was.
Yeah, so that should show. So in terms of that should show. Let me. Alison, Kirsty, Jade. So that will. It's an amalgamation of all the teams you belong to. I don't know how it prioritizes who it shows you. So because obviously, if you're in something like, well, any of the departments have got, at least 100 people in most of them. There's very few that have got very few in. So your team is an amalgamation of your Healthwatch, your department, and your region. So it will just show everything essentially. As I say, I don't know how it prioritizes who's there, maybe who you start to interact with, who's most active on the profiles. But you can click the button underneath it to say view all my teams, and then it'll show you everyone, because it just shows you, I think it's the top 10 or 8.
Okay, thank you. That's great.
Any other questions?
Well, we've got no hands for now.
Wonderful. So I think in terms of that then, what we will do is I will stop recording. Let me just hit stop on that.